Another typical, traditional element is the equivalent of the Start menu. In Fedora, it's marked with a Fedora icon. Traditionally, every Linux distribution uses its own icon as the Start menu icon. Usually, it's the logo of that distribution. In Fedora, it's the letter F enclosed in the number 8. In OpenSUSE, it's a chameleon's head. In Debian, it's a little whirlpool. Using little changes like those makes Linux systems more aesthetic. KDE's menu is also quite intuitive. It has a number of bookmarks that perform functions well known from Windows. The first tab is the Favorites tab. As the name suggests, you can add and remove items that you want to be shown here. It's a quick access menu. We can, for instance, remove the Conqueror browser because we prefer Firefox. To add something to your favorites, just find the thing in the applications, click the right mouse button, and select Add to Favorites from the Start menu. We can add an application to our desktop, panel, or even uninstall the same way. But it's better to uninstall with the use of the appropriate programs. The second tab is the Programs tab. That is, let's say, the Fedora Start menu. It's fairly intuitive, but in KDE, you may not like the fact that after you select a desired category, you need to use a list of supercategories to return from it. There's no easy way back. If anyone would seek a way to return, there's no other option. It's not that obvious, especially since, if you change tab and come back, you end up in the previous category. You can close the Start menu and go back. But with the deeper category structure, that does not work very well. The third tab, Computer, contains the basic things, such as information about the system, and is rarely used. In the last tab, as the name suggests, we can find the recently used commands and recently opened files and directories. Using the Finish tab, you can log out, shut down the computer, restart, relog in, etc. Actually, the most common way to use this menu is selecting an application from the Favorites tab. Once we get familiar with the application's names, it's much easier to type the first few letters in the search box, at the top of the menu. Overall, the menu is pretty and colorful, but it's not necessarily comfortable in everyday use. If you don't like the menu's layout, you can modify it by using this button that looks like the standard menu that we're familiar with from Windows XP or 9X. To add an item to your start bar, it's easiest to click the element in the lower right corner. That brings up an additional menu, where you can, for example, reduce or increase the height of the bar. It's good to enlarge it, to make it readable. You can also add widgets here. Suppose, however, that we prefer the old standard menu. Instead of the Program Activator, we add the Activator menu. If we enter the change mode by double-clicking on this operation, we can move the application right beside the standard menu. We've added a traditional menu that is a little more transparent. The menu structure is also very typical and similar to what can be found in older Windows versions. And it's quite friendly and convenient. However, with a large number of applications, this form of presentation, unfortunately, grows to a large size, and it may cease to be comfortable. Actually, the things you'll use largely depend on your taste. Both the first and the second option are quite convenient. It's only a matter of habits and getting familiar with the possibilities of both. In the meantime, a gear wheel icon appeared in the bar. This means that the system has detected new updates. Clicking this icon will launch the utility that updates the system. Updates should be ran quite often, as in every other system. In Linux, it's unlikely that system updates will break something. There is no such risk. Updates are really safe. It's good to keep our system up to date, especially that software updates are available not only for operating system itself, but also for its applications installed on the system.